Today's video is actually going to be a little bit off because the usual nurse Momo always comes to your screen telling you all the good things about Ireland and some of the benefits of living in Ireland. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit unusual because I'm actually going to talk about some of the sad realities about living in Ireland as an immigrant. Okay, yes. So this video was actually inspired by Tatindi. I hope I'm actually mentioning your name correctly, who actually asked another question about some of the sad realities that immigrants actually face in Ireland that people do not really want to talk about. Okay, so I was like, okay, let me try this and then pull out some few points and just share that with you. Okay, but know that no matter what, I'll still love to stay in Ireland, so please stay tuned. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about feeling of loneliness or isolated. Okay, you know, we all come from a background, like most of us from the African countries, from Asian countries. Our culture is a bit different. Okay, we are surrounded by our family, our friends, you know, and then there is this kind of community where people share thoughts together, food together. You know, you can just wake up and just go visit your friend. You have your family members coming in. How would you really feel lonely from Africa, if I would say, from my point of view? But like living in Ireland, which I would just say that broadly it should be like Europe. Okay, it's very much lonely, and then you know you feel very isolated, especially if like you're a married person or you're single. Even, you know, it's very difficult for you to just wake up and like just go visit that neighbor or have family members coming in to even say hello to you. You know, everybody wants their privacy. Everybody wants that kind of, yes, it's about me, I want to stay by myself. Before you even visit someone, you really have to, you know, have plans, like have the kind of appointment with the person, you know. And apart from that, I'll say that in Europe, the life is more of like you going to work and then just coming back home. You know, it's basically just like that. You really have to plan to even go somewhere if you're just by yourself. I'll say that being in Ireland for almost 2 years, I've also gone through that phase where I felt very lonely, okay? And it's really affected my mental health, if I would say, because I kind of miss home and miss the kind of Lucinda who was very, you know, sociable, like had things to do, going out and all of that. Even living here and then even going out, kind of stressful. You feel like, okay, am I going alone? You know, that excursion alone and all of that. The community is not really there, you know. So I'll say that would be like a major thing for me when it comes to living in Ireland or abroad. In a broad sense, okay? Yeah. And the second thing I also talk about is a culture shock. Yeah. You know, coming from home, whether from Africa, whether from Asia, wherever you're coming from, like you have your own culture, you know, that you are used to. You were nurtured with it. So you've grown with it, the way you speak, what you eat, the way you talk, your dressing, you know, and a whole lot. Everything changes immediately you move out of your country. And I'll say in Ireland, they have their own ways of doing their own things. Like I'll say that most of us, our primary language from our home country is English. But when it comes to the language sense, you come to a country, you think, oh, I'm very good in, you know, in English. You had all the 7 and the 8s in your IELTS and you think, oh, you're very good. You come in and then they speak their language. You'll be like, oh, okay, are they talking to me? Or what are they even speaking about? You know, so I would say that the language is also a very major thing that would actually put so much apprehension in you when you're actually going to work. Because I got to some time, I quite remember, you're like, how am I going to write that note? How will I even understand my patients, you know? And I think a lot of people even struggle with that very much, okay? And then when it comes to the dressing, we are very, I say in Africa, we are very colorful, very, very colorful. Even the Indians are very colorful as well. So I'll say that, you know, coming to a country that like their dressing is kind of different. Sometimes you just want to be like you know, you just want to be yourself, wear your African prints, wear whatever. And then when you go out, you see a lot of people looking at you and asking you, oh, that's, you know, sometimes you can't even trust what they are saying. Do they really mean, do they really like what you are wearing? Do you feel a little bit off, or you kind of feel overdressed, like in most occasions? Okay, then you just have to adjust to their ways. Like that's also a bit awkward and a bit different, if I'll say. Yeah. And then the next thing will also be food. Yes, because you are used to your local food. Like me, I'm used to my banku and my fufu and my, you know, my rice, my type of rice even. Okay. And I'll say that Chinese is what actually kind of helps us here. But like when you come in and then you go on for like parties and all of that, and then you find the mashed potatoes, you find all the bread stuff. Like it's a bit frustrating at times. I quite remember I went to a shopping mall to get some few things. And I was really hungry. And I was like, I wish I could get like some fried rice and some chicken and all of that. And then anywhere I go, I only see some sandwich. And I was like, what is this? What is it with all this bread stuff? Like, I want real food. I want like at least some rice, some fried rice. Okay, unless you find yourself a Chinese, that's where you're going to feel like at home. Okay, so a lot of things really goes into like the culture shock, apart from the food and then the dressing and then all of that. Additionally, I have to talk about their weather. Yes, guys, if someone tells you your behavior is like that of an
weather,
like the person has actually insulted you, because in Ireland I was saying that they have all the 4 seasons in a day. It will be raining, then the next minute it's sunny, and then it's a bit windy, like everything in just a day. You can't really plan, even if when you're in summer, like we're in summer right now, and then the next minute it's raining, it's cold, it's windy, and all of that. I said that coming from a country that is very, very warm, like it was a very big blow to me, because you're not really used to all the rains all the time. Like it's really like 99.99. Like I don't even know what to say. So like it's going to be very like frustrating if you're that type that you're not very used to adapting quickly. It's really going to be a bit tough on you. Okay, and then I think the next thing is about like their legal systems and all of that. I think it's a bit frustrating for me, okay, because I feel like in Africa you can just get your way through things, and then things are a little bit faster for me personally, okay, than like in Ireland. If I'll say like paying your way, having to register for something, you have to go through a long process and then wait for so long before you get one step to the other. It's quite frustrating, okay? Yes, very, very frustrating. So now let's move to the third point. Enough of the cultural shock and all of that. So my next point is a bit sensitive. However, I still have to talk about it, which is about racism, okay, or discrimination. We all know that Irish people are very lovely. It's a very lovely country, friendly. Like, most people are very friendly, but it doesn't mean that you are going to, like, meet everybody that would really be friendly, okay, or very nice to you. You're definitely going to meet people that even if they don't really show it or say, you could see that, like, they are being racist, or, okay. Yeah, so it's just not at the workplace. You might meet people at the shop, at the restaurants, even in the bars, and then their way of doing things or even approaching you will definitely suggest that they are kind of racist, okay? Just imagine someone tells you that, oh, you smell very African. Like, your perfume smells very African. I'm sure you actually bought it from Africa. Like, the person is indirectly telling you that there is no way you can afford a perfume in Ireland, okay? You have to be very smart. One thing I'll say about the Irish people is that even if they don't like you, they have a way of doing it, okay? And you have to be super smart for you to know. Like, they pose as if they really like you, but you can't really trust what's behind whatever statement that they're actually making. I've actually encountered a lot of people that will make statements, and then I know where they're actually coming from. That's one thing about them. They laugh with you, they joke. You have to be very smart to be able to pick out these things. And then if you're not someone who is very strong, if I'll say, or mentally strong, you end up feeling inferior, okay? So I'll say that is actually everywhere. Even from where I'm coming from, we have people fighting about tribes and all of that. So with that, I think is inevitable, not just in Ireland, it's in everywhere. So yeah, what you just have to do is that you make sure that you wear your coat and then stand out and then be confident from where you come from. When people ask you about your hair, oh, your hair, it looks really straight, can it lie down? Is it difficult to manage? Some people actually say those statements without meaning any harm. Some will also make some statements where you will know that they don't actually mean good, okay? Oh, where you come from, is it the same hospital setting? Do you have the same educational system? Are you guys able to really afford education? Such statements, okay, are a bit uncomfortable, okay? Like some people asking me, did you train in Ireland? Or if I say no, okay, did you train in Finland? Or did you train in any part of Europe? Indirectly, they are saying that you should train in such places for you to be qualified to actually attend to me, or give me the care that I actually need. Such things are there, but as I said earlier on, just be proud from where you are coming from and then speak out your mind, but very respectfully. My next point is going to be on housing issues, okay? We all know that the housing crisis is actually the whole world, and Ireland is definitely inclusive. Like, it's very difficult for people to actually get their preferred house or like homes, and I'll say that the cost is kind of really high, okay, especially those who actually prefer to live in the cities. So if you actually prefer to live, like, let's say in the Cork city, in Dublin city, Galway city, like, definitely you should be like ready for a very high cost of living, okay. And apart from that, different counties are equally facing the same challenge when it comes to housing, and it even goes a little bit into racism as well, because some people, like blacks like us, okay, find it difficult like getting like their houses, because some people just go, and when they see that you're a black person, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm not more giving my house for rent. You know, I've actually heard from some of the nurses that actually came in with such experience. What are you going to do? You just have to go back. I have a friend who actually shared one experience where she knocked into the house and the person looked at her, oh, sorry, please, I'm not giving my house for rent. Someone who actually spoke on the phone that, oh yes, you can actually come for viewing, okay, come and view my house, like I'm actually giving it out for rent. And the next minute the person sees you, and then the person is like, oh no, I'm not giving the house for rent anymore, I think someone already came for it or something. Like, you should know that the person doesn't like you because you're black, you know. So all those things goes into housing, like, you know, difficulty that immigrants actually face, apart from the fact that even getting a house is even difficult on its own. You know, being black, or, you know, or coming from a different country makes it a bit difficult, you know, getting a house in Ireland. Yes, I hope you don't sound disappointed, but it's still there, okay? Yes. Lastly, I'll say holidays and celebrations. Like, in Africa, when it comes to weddings, when it comes to engagements, when it comes to birthdays, you know, Christmas, Easter, you know, those stuff we actually celebrate. You know, we have lots of like options. They do celebrate in Ireland as well, but like, it does not actually meet the standard, okay? And then if you are that kind of outgoing type, you love to like enjoy such things, you're really going to be frustrated, seriously, because like people, I think a wedding is quite simple, like comparing to what we actually do back home, like our engagements, you know, people just meeting, you know, and then they just engage and all of that, and then that's it. Their wedding, something simple. I think we are overdoing it even back home, okay? So if you're that type, you don't really enjoy such occasions, okay? And then when it comes to like holidays, we are actually looking forward to like the Christmas, where we have like, you know, family coming in and all of that, like, you know, enjoying some good food and all of that. Like, if you are really into such things, and then you are here in Europe or in Ireland, I'll say that it's actually going to be a very big blow, because you're not going to have that kind of enjoyment. Where are you actually going to stay? Even if you even have family members here, it's still not going to be like the same feeling, you know. Even church, okay, even going to church is not even the same thing, and all of that, okay. And before I forget, in Ireland, it's not like Africa. They can just meet like a lady on the roadside and then be like, oh, I think I like you, can I get your number or something? No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, it's like you find a girlfriend at the club, or you actually go on, you know, dating sites to actually look for someone. So people actually tend to be very frustrated. I actually had to add that before I forget, okay? Yeah, if you're really surprised, that's the thing. Or it's better you look for your own girl or something back home, and then, you know, do all the things you have to do and then come. Because if you're a lady, you don't expect any white man standing by the roadside to be like, oh, I like you, can I have your number? Or maybe a car driving by to just stop and be like, can I have your number? Such things do not happen here, because they actually take offense to that. It's very offensive to them, okay? But you see, like, African men like approaching African women here, that because at least we know that we accept it. But when it comes to the Irish people, it's not accepted, okay? If you really want to date someone, register on a dating site. Can you imagine? If I want to date someone, I should register on a dating site and pay money. Yes, that's the whole thing here, okay? Or you can go to club and stuff, and then if you're lucky, you might get someone. So to the women and also to the men, this time around, it's actually both sides. It's very frustrating for both sides. So if you really want to marry an Irish person, that's the main reason you're actually coming to Ireland. I'm just giving you a heads up. You should be ready. So guys, this is the end of today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it and also learned a lot from it. Above all of those things I stated, seriously, Ireland is a very beautiful country, lovely country. It's a place I always recommend for people to actually live with their family. It's very homely and very, I'll say very good for like family people as well. So forget about all those things. You're able to manage them, okay? Create your own fun, have time for your family. You know, we are here for money, but try and also make time for your family. Very important. If you are single and you are thinking about the last statement I actually made, don't worry. Just try and then find your lady from Africa or wherever. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you have any suggestion, any comments, anything at all, please remember to just drop it in the comment section. And also remember to like my videos. You can't be watching without liking this video. So because the more you like it, the more YouTube is also going to, suggest this video to other people to also watch. So it's not just watching a video to support your girl. Also remember to drop a comment. Also hit that like button. If this is your first time of coming to my YouTube channel, you're very much welcome. My name is Momo. I talk about nursing in Ireland and anything interesting about Ireland and also other places as well. Thank you all so much for always coming through and supporting your girl. See you all soon on my next video. Bye.